Hey, welcome back. Hey, it's Justin. Every Monday I do a video like this where I talk about my week in sales. Let's take a look at my numbers here. It looks like this week I had a 708% ROI over the last 7 days, 47% net profit margin. I had $1,301 in gross sales and $655 net income over the last 7 days. I just came off of vacation. Vacation mode's turned off. This is my first full week back after vacation. So things have picked up pretty nicely. I've got a lot of sales here, 41 new listings over the last 7 days and 39 sales. Looks like my average time to sell for the last week is 3 months, which is about right. About 90 days is usually where I sit. And I spent $206 in new inventory over the past 7 days. It's been a relatively calm week. I had a few weird scenarios I talked about in my last video. I had people opening up some strange returns. I had some credit card disputes I had to deal with. If you didn't see that video, you can check it out up there. But this week has been pretty calm. No problematic buyers, no weird scenarios. So knock on wood, hopefully things stay the same. So typically I talk through my top 10 sales of the week, which I'm going to do and get to in a second. But I thought it would be fun to talk through some of the finds that I had this week, things that I found at estate sales, thrift stores, stuff like that that have not yet sold, because I did find some pretty interesting things. So let's take a look at that first. So first up are these Nike shoes here. These are Nike Dunk Lows. They are a Halloween specialty from 2021. I am not a sneakerhead. I don't know a ton about shoes, but I do know how to look them up and check comps and sell-through rates, and these were very good. I bought them at an estate sale for 20 bucks. I have them listed for $149.99 plus shipping, and so they like glow in the dark. They're pretty clean. They're a really unique looking shoe, and I was surprised that an estate sale had them. Usually estate sales, the inventory is older antiques or older vintage items. It's not very common that you see a pair of shoes like this at an estate sale. That's why I jumped on it so quickly. It was $20. I think maybe they just didn't know how to price it because they're not used to having this type of inventory there, but it's a great size too, 10.5, which is my size. I kind of felt like wearing them, keeping them for a while, but I listed them, they're up there, and I don't expect it'll take too long to sell because it is a desirable pair of shoes and it is a good size to look out for. Another estate sale find is this vintage Pyrex flameware glass coffee maker. I've bought and sold these in the past and they go for really good money. This one is listed for $69.99 plus shipping. I think I have $14.99 in shipping on there. Let me take a look. Yeah, $14.99 in shipping. It's a complete set. This is a percolator. People make coffee in this. The last one I sold went for right around this amount, and I don't expect this one's going to take very long to sell. I paid $6 at the estate sale, so again, I'm surprised that this was only $6 for a kind of retro Pyrex piece of this quality, but excited to find it. Hopefully maybe by next week it'll show up on my sold list. At that same estate sale that I got the Pyrex at, I got these Birkin Stocks, which was really surprising. They only wanted $2 for them, I think because they were in pretty rough shape, and I did do some cleaning on them. You can still see there's some splotches right there, but for $2 I figured why not. The leather's scratched. I didn't price them very high because the condition was not great on the leather and on the soles there. So $39.99 plus shipping, but for $2, why not? I also found this Microsoft Easy Ball. This is one of my favorite categories to shop in, which is like 90s vintage computer accessories, games, things like that. I grew up in the 90s. I was a big computer geek in the 90s, and just finding these old peripheral devices like these trackballs. I mean, this is like a giant trackball for a kid. Still, I just find these things really fun. They're just relics, these just like pieces of history from, an era that just no longer exists anymore. And so I really like finding these things. Trackballs in general, those things are very valuable. Anytime I see them, I pick them up. I'd never seen this Easy Ball before, but it's funny. It's a really old, it's from 1995. Has a PS2 connection on it, not even USB. And so this one's listed for 40 bucks. I bought it for, I paid $5. So not gonna make a ton of money, but I just really like finding these types of things. Also at an estate sale, I found this remote, and remotes, again, you've heard me talk about this on the channel before, but remotes are just an excellent thing to look out for and buy. Usually they're very cheap and they can often go for quite a bit of money. Like this one right here, I have it listed for $69.99 plus shipping. I didn't buy it for $5, I bought it for $2. So I have it listed for $69.99 plus shipping. I bought it for $2 at an estate sale. So typically when it comes to remotes, if it's a big brand like Sony or Panasonic or Samsung, if you're gonna buy that for $1, chances are it's probably gonna sell anywhere from $8 to $15 roughly, but there's a ton of remotes that will go for way more money than that. And one of the rules that I follow when looking for remotes when I'm outsourcing is like the more obscure and weird, the better. It's not always true, but it was definitely true in this case. This was just for a fireplace. And just shocking that for $2 in a estate sale, you can turn around and flip that for 70 plus shipping. It's not in the best condition. It's got some scratches on it. It has a little sticky residue I tried to clean off, couldn't get it all off, but still, remotes, keep an eye out for them, especially if they're weird, obscure looking remotes. There's a chance they could be worth a lot of money like this one. All right, let's jump into the top 10 sales of the week. Coming in at number 10 is this BuildABear from 2018, Way of Light. So BuildABear, y'all have heard me talk about this on the channel before. They make, stuffed animals. You can go to the mall and they can, you like stuff your own animals there. It's a company that's from St. Louis. I'm from St. Louis. And so I think I end up running across some really interesting Build-A-Bears that maybe other people aren't finding in other parts of the country as often because they are a St. Louis company. So they partner with other organizations around the city. This one's with Way of Light. It's like a church out in Illinois that they do a Christmas event, and they do this special plush every year. This one was from 2018. I've found this specific spotted longhorn probably 6 times and sold it 6 times. It used to be I would get $60 or $70 for it. Now it's only going for about $30, $35, but came in for the 10th best flip of the week, $16. When it comes to Build-A-Bear, I have found that the more obscure the animal, the better. If it's just a bear, it's probably not worth it. Last week I sold a donkey, Build-A-Bear donkey for like $75. So that's what you want to look out for. Not all of them are good. In fact, the vast majority of Build-A-Bears are probably not worth it, but this one was worth it. I ended up netting $16.55 for the 10th best flip of the week. Coming in at number 9 is this vintage Omco Light table lighter. So this thing sits on a table, fill it with kerosene, or I don't know if it's kerosene, fill it with some sort of combustible liquid, I don't know what, but yeah, use it to light your cigarettes, cigars, fireworks, who knows, whatever you want to light with this thing. But I've had it for a long time. I got it off Facebook Marketplace. I bought out the corner of a basement of a hoarder, filled up an entire box truck of stuff for about $500, and there was like, I don't know, 3,000 to 4,000 different pieces in there. Probably about a quarter of it we ended up donating back to Goodwill and other places, but 75% of it was all sellable stuff, and I'm still selling it. This was, over 2 years from when I picked it up. So this one I've had for a long time. Looks like it sold for $27.39, and my net return on it was $17.33 for the 9th best flip of the week. Coming in at number 8 is this vintage Stanley thermos. So not one of the more popular Stanley Cups, but these old Stanleys do pretty well too. Looks like I got this one at a garage sale last summer for $1, and it sold for $34.99, free shipping. Cost $11.49 for me to ship. I ended up netting $18.01 on it for the 8th best flip of the week. You want to open these up. You want to make sure that they're not disgusting inside. Sometimes people keep liquid in it and forget and then sell it, and they're just filled with all sorts of gross stuff. Coming in at number 7 is this camera that I bought at Salvation Army only 2 days ago, or it took 2 days to sell, I should say, for $33.98 and a net return of $18.64. So point and shoot cameras, film cameras. Most people don't know that these things have value, but they definitely do. In fact, this one didn't go for as much as I thought it would. I thought it would be a little bit more expensive than that, but still, $33.98 was the sale price in 2 days, and I ended up netting $18.64. Almost every film camera I find, I pick up. There's some that I don't. Some of the really obscure, weird brands, or you can just pick it up and feel it, and it's just made of really crappy thin plastic, for example. I find these a lot at garage sales and estate sales, and I've sold point and shoot cameras like this upwards of $100, $150. So some of them can be really, really valuable. Coming in at number 6 is this refrigerator filter. I bought this for $25 at an estate sale, and yeah, it sold for $29.99. It only took 8 hours, and I ended up netting $18.88 on it. It's about the quickest, best way you're going to make $18 buying a refrigerator filter for $25 in an estate sale. Most people, again, don't realize that these things have the value that they do. They think they're just sort of a throwaway thing. Why even price it 25 cents? I have no idea, but happy to take it. And the sell-through rate on this was really good, so I knew it was going to go out really quickly. Coming in at number 5 is this Disney Cruise Line hoodie. So a lot of Disney things are going to be valuable. I would say Disney's the most popular brand found at any thrift store. There's countless Disney things at every single thrift store. Vast majority of them are not going to be worth it, but there are a lot of really valuable Disney things. This is not a super valuable thing, but I think a lot of people would probably pass over this thinking it's not really worth it. But, I sold it for $39.98 in just under 3 weeks. I ended up netting $19.39 for the 5th best flip of the week. And I got it at St. Vincent de Paul for $8. I paid up a little bit for it. All right. Number 4 are these vintage bowling shoes. I got this at an estate sale about 2 months ago. Looks like I paid $1.75, and they sold for $34.94. Net return of $21.73, and I'll tell you, they smelled exactly like a bowling alley still. So this is something I had never bought and sold in the past before. I just saw them sitting there. I saw the cheap price on them and figured I'd give it a shot. And yeah, I mean, it didn't take that long to sell, really, only 2 months. And I don't know if somebody's wearing these as a for fashion or for utility when bowling. I'm not really sure. They sold in about 2 months, so happy to get them out the door for the 4th best flip of the week. So coming in at number 3 are these Pyrex Flameware Percolator Pump Replacement Stems. And so there's 2 of them. I bought them for $4 each at the same estate sale that I bought this guy that has not sold yet. But these are replacement parts for this thing. So you can see right there, the stem sits right there. And right next to this on the shelf, they had these 2, I had 2 of these percolator pumps sitting there. They wanted $4 each, so I bought them for $8 total, and 18 hours later they sold for a total of $93.96. Really surprised at the value of these, but they went very quickly. These vintage Pyrex pieces are very fragile. If it breaks, you're just not going to be able to find replacement parts anywhere, so you got to get vintage replacement parts. And these were new in the box, 2 of them. I ended up netting a total of $66.63 on that for the 2nd best flip of the week. Is that number 2? No, that was the 3rd best flip of the week. So Pyrex is a great brand to look out for. New old stock in the box. Still had old price tags on it like that. So really cool thing to find, and surprised at the value, and also just surprised at how quickly it sold. Coming in at number 2 is this Samsung DVD VHS Recorder. These are like my bread and butter items. I find them literally almost every estate sale that I go to. They have one of these, or at least a VCR. I did pay up for this one, $16, but I knew it was going to be worth a little bit more money because it is a DVD recorder. And the reason these things are so valuable is they just don't make them anymore. You can't go out and buy them brand new. You have to get them on the secondary market. This took only 4 hours to sell, as you can see there, and it went for $114.98, including shipping. I ended up netting $71.09. Only cost $15 to ship. Sold in 4 hours, 444% ROI. I will buy these all day, every day. Although my wife does the shipping, and she hates when I buy these because she hates shipping them, but sorry, $71. 4 hours. I'm just going to do it every single time. You got to test them. You got to pop the DVD in there. You got to pop the VHS in there. Make sure everything works. Just a great thing to look out for. Perfect thing to find at estate sales. I usually don't buy them at thrift stores just because I can find that they don't get treated very well, and they're going to take them home and they're going to be broken. I have a pile of broken ones sitting in my basement right now. But this, again, just an excellent thing to look out for. Had the remote with it, and it came in $71.09 for the 2nd best flip of the week. Finally, number 1 is this Kawasaki Big Bam Boom Beatbox. I got this at an estate sale as well. It is brand new in the box. I recognized it not because I'd seen this specific item before, but I had seen, you might have seen like Jack Black on The Tonight Show. I don't know what show it was, but he's playing this Kawasaki saxophone. Well, that saxophone is worth a ton of money, I think because he was playing it on that show. It had a boom in popularity because he played that on that show. Maybe, I don't know that for sure, but I know if you go and look at the sold comps of the saxophone, it's called the Kawasaki Saxaboom. So you can tell it kind of looks very similar to this. It's in the same line of toys, but look at that. For used, they're going for $300. There's a new one for it's a crazy amount. Let me see what it sold for. $4,000 brand new. That's crazy. When I saw this one on the shelf at an estate sale, I for a split second thought it was the saxophone, and almost passed out because I knew that it was worth a lot of money. But still, I was very excited. I paid $40 for it at this estate sale. It sold in 26 days for $199 plus shipping. That's $214.98 coming to me. It cost me $30 to ship. It was a pretty large item. My net return on it was $114.37. But this was a really fun thing to find. It's a great category to shop in, vintage 90s toys. Not all of them are good, obviously, but there are certainly lots that are. And this one was a really fun and good one. Really excited to find it, excited to sell it. Hopefully it made someone's day to have one of these things in brand new condition. I do wish it was the saxophone though, but maybe next time. I will find one of those saxophones one of these days. All right, y'all, thank you very much. If you made it this far, check out these other videos. You're probably going to also like those as well. They are my What Sold videos for the last 2 weeks. I do these every week, so every Monday. Thanks, y'all. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time.